Welcome to Calcutta Races Monsoon Meeting, 6th day, Tuesday, 6th August 2019 race preview. First race is the Tangiers Plate, 3 years old only, rated 21 to 46 to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. We're looking at number 1, Magnificent Star. Magnificent Star's had one outing in the Monsoon Meeting in race number 8 over 1200 meters, where Magnificent Star turned into the home straight by leading the pack and then eventually faded away and finished on 9th was Magnificent Star, and the winner of that race was Millennium Glory, who got that race by a short head. Number 2 will be Asmita. Speaking of which, out of Vena's stars, Asmita has had one start this monsoon meeting in race number 14 over 1100 meters, and quite a cracker of a start that was for Asmita, who was lying third till it turned for home and then came up with a very strong run on the outside down on the center of the track and went on to win that race by a length and a quarter by beating Tia Queen. Also in the same race we had Swan Light, who finished on third. Number 3 will be Incendio. Win legend out of Angel's Glory is Incendio. Had one start this season in race number 9 over 1200 meters, where Incendio came up with a real late run on the outside and went on to win that race by a long neck by beating Miami, who got the second spot, but quite an eye-catcher that was by Miami towards the rail side. And looking at also number 7, that is Luna Lucinda, who finished on 9th. At the back end of the field was Luna Lucinda. Number 5 is Gorish. Gorish has had one outing that was in the winter season in race number 82 over 1400 meters, where Gorish led the way till the distance post and then faded away and finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was East Side. The second race will be the ERF Handicap to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. We're looking at number 1, Aquitania. Aquitania has had one start this season in race number 20 over 1100 meters, and quite an eye-catcher that was by Aquitania, who led the way right till the distance post and then eventually got overtaken on the outside by Mr. Fox, and then it was a ding-dong battle between Mr. Fox and Aquitania, but Mr. Fox travelled the better and won it by a length, and Aquitania remained in the second spot. Also in the same race we had number 4, Gimme Credit, who finished on 6th. Number 2 will be Astoria. Air support out of Sangre Azul is Astoria. Has had one start this season in race number 10 over 1100 meters, and quite a cracker that was by Astoria. Led the way right from pillar to post and went on to win that race by a long neck by the late finishing White Walker, and who finished on 2nd. Also in the same race we had number 7, Tiburon, who gave it a tough fight to finish an eye-catching 3rd. Number 3 will be Levante. Levante has had two outings this monsoon meeting, finished off the board both its outings. Last one being in race number 19 over 1200 meters, finished right at the back end to finish on 8th, and the winner of that race was Aftershock. Number 5 will be Bang Bang. Bang Bang's finished 6th in its last outing in race number 30 over 1200 meters after much efforts. Travelled very wide of the track in the final stages, as you can see on the screen. Finished on 6th was Bang Bang, and the winner of that race was Diamond Harbour. Gave it a tough fight and won it by a short head. Number 6 will be Romanov. Romanov's last outing was in the winter season in race number 179 over 1200 meters, where Romanov finished almost detached, 14th out of 14 runners, and the winner of that race was Kaiden. We move on to the third race, which is the Azureus Handicap, a no-whip race to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. We're looking at number 1, Princess Rumela. Princess Rumela has had one start this season in race number 13 over a mile, and Princess Rumela led the way right from the start and got overtaken on the outside by Constance in the final stages of the race and got beat by 3/4 of a length, and Princess Rumela finished on 2nd, and number 3, Dakshesh, in the same race finished on 4th. Number 2 will be Glorious Leaps. Glorious Leaps' last outing was in the winter in race number 117 over 5.5 furlongs, where Glorious Leaps finished on 11th, and the winner of that race was Mustang. Number 4 will be Knight's Gambit. Knight's Gambit came down from southern India, from Bangalore, then had its only outing in the winter season in race number 135 over 1100 meters, where Knight's Gambit finished detached almost to finish on 14th out of 14th, and the winner of that race was Buddy Howley. Number 5 will be Winner's Delight. Winner's Delight has had one outing this season in race number 15 over 1100 meters, where Winner's Delight, after much efforts, finished on 7th. Also in the same race, we had number 9, The Last Judgment, who finished 6th. Also number 11, Happy Returns, who came up with a late run down on the centre to finish on 4th. And also in the same race, we had number 12, Fight of Honor, who finished on 8th. But the eventual winner of that race was a runaway winner, Shimmering Star, who won it by 2 3/4 lengths. Number 6, we're looking at Hootson. Hootson's just had one outing this monsoon meeting in race number 20 over 1100 meters, where Hootson finished on 5th out of 9 runners, and the winner of that race was Mr. Fox. Number 7 will be Midnight Magic. Midnight Magic's last outing was in the winter season in race number 204 over 1100 meters, where Midnight Magic travelled very wide of the track in the final stages and finished on 4th was Midnight Magic, but the winner of that race was Lugano. Number 8, looking at Singapore Gata. Singapore Gata's last outing was in the winter in race number 197 over 1600 meters, where Singapore Gata travelled 3rd all the way till the turn for home, and then eventually came and took over the running and went on to win that race by a length and a quarter by beating City Heights. Number 10 is Federosa. Federosa has just had one start in the winter season in race number 184 over 1200 meters, and Federosa absolutely showed no show. Finished almost detached from the field to finish on 14th out of 14, and the winner of that race was me and myself. We move on to the 4th race, which is the Nero Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We're looking at number 2, Izzy. Izzy's just had one outing in the winter season. That was on debut, and quite an impressive debut that was by Izzy. Came up with a real rattle on the outside and went on to win that race by a short neck by beating Roxa. That was in race number 171 over 1200 meters. Number 3 will be Rustler. Rustler's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 19 over 1200 meters, where Rustler finished on board to finish on 3rd, and the winner of that race was Aftershock. But if you see, Rustler did get caught up in the centre of the track, but eventually got an opening towards the rail side and finished on 3rd. Number 4 will be Demonstrate. Demonstrate just had one start this season in race number 25 over 1400 meters, where Demonstrate finished on 6th. Also in the same race, we had number 7, Stelvio Pass, who finished on 7th. Finished on 4th after much efforts. And the winner of that race was East Side, won it very impressively by 5 lengths. Number 5 will be Lakshay, Verinar out of Hugo Shares. Lakshay just had one outing this monsoon meeting in race number 20 over 1100 meters, and after much efforts finished on 4th, and the winner of that race was Mr. Fox. Number 6 will be Romantic Zeal. Romantic Zeal's last outing was in the winter season in race number 177 over a mile, where Romantic Zeal towards the rail side got a couple of reminders, and after much efforts finished on 5th, and the eventual winner of that race was One the Boy. We move on to the fifth race, which is the Star Phoenix Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. Number 1, we're looking at Kramer. Kramer's had 2 starts this monsoon meeting, won its opener in race number 4 over 1100 meters, and then fell short by half a length in its last outing in race number 11 over 1100 meters. Finished on second was Kramer, and the winner of that race was Azureus White. Number 2 will be Midnight Star. Midnight Star's had 3 outings this monsoon meeting, last one being quite an impressive one in race number 23 over 6 furlongs, that's 1200 meters. Midnight Star came up with a real rattle on the outside and went on to win that race by 1 3/4 lengths at a 10-1 shot was Midnight Star. Also in the same race we had number 8, that is Lumos, who finished second. Number 3 will be Poet. Poet's had 2 outings this monsoon meeting, finished off the board in both its outings. Last one being in race number 32 over 1400 meters, where Poet finished on 7th. Now running back to 1100 meters is Poet. Number 4 will be Migrator. Migrator's last outing was in race number 18 this monsoon meeting over 1200 meters, where Migrator led the way till the distance post and then got overtaken on the outside, and Migrator just faded away to finish on 7th. And also in the same race we had number 6, that is Reincarnation, the late Carbonara, who finished on 6th, and the eventual winner was Perpetual Winning. Number 5 will be Stallone. Stallone's last outing was in the winter season in race number 209 over 1200 meters, where Stallone finished on 6th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Kramer, who came up with a strong run on the outside and went on to win that race by a long neck. Number 7 will be Arashi. Arashi's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 16 over 1100 meters, where Arashi, after much efforts, finished on 6th. And also in the same race we had number 9, that is Sereno, who finished 1 ahead to finish on 5th. And the eventual winner of that race was Malana, who sprung a surprise at 5-1 and went on to win that race by 3 1/4 lengths. We move on to the 6th race, which should be the feature of the day, the Make My Day Cup, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We're looking at number 1, Azureus White. Azureus White's had 2 starts this monsoon meeting, won its first start over a distance of 1100 meters in race number 11, and simultaneously finished on 3rd in race number 24, that is its last outing, over 1400 meters, and the winner of that race was Multitude. Also in the same race we had number 4, Multiglory, who finished on 7th. Number 2 will be Breeze of the South. Breeze of the South has had 2 starts, and both being in the winter season, one over a distance of 1400 meters and the other being over a distance of 1200 meters, and the last one being in race number 195, and Breeze of the South winning both its outings, and last one also being impressive, winning that by a short head. Never know, can just come out and do it again and continue the form this season. Number 5 will be Hartnell. Hartnell's last outing was in race number 150 over 1600 meters, where Hartnell finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was Cadman. Number 6 will be One Man Army. One Man Army has had 1 start this monsoon meeting in race number 11 over 1100 meters, where One Man Army, after much efforts, finished on 7th. Also in the same race we had number 9, Pothos, who finished on 5th, and number 10, that is Copernicus, who finished 1 ahead to finish on 4th, but the eventual winner of that race was Azureus White. Number 7, we're looking at Ophion. Ophion's last outing was in the winter season in race number 181 over 1400 meters, where Ophion finished on 7th after much efforts, and the winner of that race was Breeze of the South, who won that race by 2 3/4 lengths. Number 8 will be Shivesh. Shivesh's last outing was quite an eye-catcher. Multi-dimensional out of Baruch is Shivesh. This season being in race number 32 over 1400 meters, where Shivesh warmed up very late and finished on 2nd, 4 1/4 lengths behind the winner, that is Malana. Number 11 will be Eastern Star. Eastern Star's last outing was in the Bangalore season in race number 111. But you can see on your screen, its last outing in the Calcutta 2000 Guineas was in the Calcutta winter season, where Eastern Star finished second, 6 lengths behind Adjudicate, who was the winner of that race. Number 12 will be Barbaresco. Barbaresco's last outing was in the winter season over 2,800 meters, where Barbaresco, after much efforts, finished on 5th out of 7 runners, and the eventual winner of that race was Shivansh, who won that by a length and a quarter. We move on to the 7th and last race of the day, which is the Katana Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1,800 meters. We're looking at number 1, Dixie Diamond. Dixie Diamond's last outing was in the winter season in race number 202 over 1,600 meters, where Dixie Diamond finished on 6th after much efforts. Towards the rail side was Dixie Diamond, and the eventual winner of that race was Porthos. Number 2 will be Raksharki. Raksharki's last outing was this monsoon meeting in race number 12 over 1,400 meters, where Raksharki travelled 8th till it turned for home and then gradually gained a few places on the very wide outside and went on to finish on 4th was Raksharki, and the winner was Airlift, and now this time out travelling with 400 meters more. You never know, he might just be on board, is Raksharki. Number 3 is Apna Time Aiga. One outing this monsoon meeting in race number 26 over a mile, where Apna Time Aiga was amongst the front runners in the final stages of the race and finished on 5th, though eventually was Apna Time Aiga. Also in the same race we had number 5, Duchamp, who finished on 8th, but the eventual winner was Sniper. Number 4 will be Panchavilla. Panchavilla's last outing was this monsoon meeting. That's the only outing it's had this season in race number 16 over 1,100 meters, where Panchavilla, after much efforts, finished on 7th, and the eventual winner of that race was Malana. Number 6 will be 7 Step. 7 Steps last outing was quite an eye-catcher in race number 27 over a mile. New famous out of Top Romance is 7 Step. 7 Step travelled 3rd till it turned for home and then eventually gained the place and finished on 2nd. Chased the leader, that was Murakami, the stablemate, who went on to win that race by 2 1/4 lengths. Number 7, we're looking at Dash. Just had one start this monsoon meeting in race number 19 over 1,200 meters, and quite a poor run that was by Dash, who finished on 6th, and the eventual winner of that race was Aftershock, who won that race by a nose. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time, and hope to see you at the races tomorrow afternoon.